Ripple XRP emergency. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. XRP breaking news, emergency news right now. And as you can see, the 4-hour candle exploded once this news was dropped. And that news is that the judge for the XRP versus SEC case has ruled in favor or against the SEC, and they will require that the documents of the Hinman testimony is turned over. So check this out. All right, so there's two things we're going to be covering right now in this, and then we will jump into the XRP charts. Very exciting to see where price ran up to. This was really, like, it was just unexpected to happen so quickly. But the great thing is, look at that, game right up into that 4-hour supply and demand zone. Let's check if it's a daily supply and demand zone. No, it is not. So it is the 4-hour supply and demand zone. Let's see if we can even get a little lower here on the 1 hour. Oh, dude, check this out. So if we even break it down even farther with the Heikin-Ashi supply and demand model here, just a second before we jump into that article, we would get this candle right here would be a 1 hour supply and demand top. And look at where price came right into that. We could even try to narrow it down a little bit more. Let's see here. We got this one right here. Boom. That is where it came into as well. Now we flip back to Japanese candlesticks. Look at that, wicked in there. It's having a little bit of a pullback, as we always talk about on this channel. What goes up in price fast also comes down, but we'll touch base on that, because more importantly is, what was the catalyst for this? Well, as you guys all know, some of you guys are traders out there, and you may have heard the quote, "Show me the charts and then I'll show you the news." Really interesting thing. Actually, I was talking to one of my buddies. I sent him a message on Facebook. I was like, "Hey man, did you see the news about XRP?" He said, "No, but it just hit my take profit." And I was like, "Wait a minute, what?" And he was like, "Yeah, I had this trade set up on the 4-hour trade setup, and it hit it. It exploded right into my take profit." I was like, "Oh, wow, that's really interesting," because the news coincidentally came out at the same exact time that the rocket ship happened. So again, show me the charts and I'll show you the news. It's very important to keep an eye on the charts, because they will tell you the future if you read them properly. So let's take a look here. This was the first article we're going to talk about here. Then we'll jump up into this one right here. Also behind me, as you can see, we've got the green up and rocking, because we do have a green rocket ship candle. We are green for the day. Very exciting, even though the markets are doing very poorly. The stock market has crashed severely. The S&P 500, I've been doing a lot of trading on the stock market with S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, doing some longs and shorts over there, scalping the markets and getting, some really great results. But it's making me also follow things outside of crypto. And I'm just like, dang, man, our economy is melting. Also, the Bank of England just basically threw in the towel. We'll find some information on that too, because it's important that you guys know the world economy, what's going on. So unless you're a day trader and you're just staring at the charts all day, you probably already know what's going to be happening in the news if you're just watching the way the charts are reacting. So here we are. XRP community, SEC.gov versus Ripple XRP breaking. Judge Torres overrules the SEC's objections and orders the SEC to turn over the Hinman documents. And if you're not familiar with the Hinman documents, Hinman in the past, a long time ago, when he was representing the SEC at a conference, stated that the cryptos were not a security, and they were trying to remove themselves from Hinman in that speech and that actual statement that he made. But unfortunately for them, they got overruled. So SEC is going to have to turn over those documents. This very likely could mean that the XRP case could be coming to an end with an XRP victory, not a settlement. And what would be really crazy is if XRP wins, if Ripple wins. Ripple is the company that's being sued, right? If Ripple wins, SEC may be forced to pay the legal fees for Ripple as well. So Ripple could come out smoking hot on top of this. So obviously, if you are not familiar, Ripple has already paid over $100 million defending themselves in this case. And if they win, they would get that money back in some sort of way. So let's take a look here at this Dropbox document. And what we see here is Ripple Labs, Inc., Bradley Garlinghouse, Chris Larson, And this is the entire document details here. So you can come check this out. I did want to just point out to you the information. I'm not going to read this whole document to you because it's just pretty lengthy, right? And of course, you can do your own research on that as well. But the conclusion, for the foregoing reasons, the court overrules the SEC's objection and directs the SEC to comply with orders. So all of these reasons right here is the reason being why. So it looks like attorney-client privilege in here. Let's see if there's anything else that just stands out really quickly. Second, the SEC argues that Judge Netburn erred by incorporating a requirement that the product of deliberations related to a statement or agency policy contends that based on, it's going to be a lot of legal jargon, so go read that for yourself. I don't want to bore you to death. We have some really great information we're going to be covering here in the charts for you, but this is just breaking news, emergency Ripple XRP information that I needed to bring to you guys. Wanted to show you that. Now, also over here on this tweet here, Ripple going to full SIN mode, XRP, it says here, the court has reviewed the remainder of the thorough and well-reasoned orders for clear error and finds none. Accordingly, the court overrules the SEC's objections and directs the SEC to comply with the order. So really, really exciting. They also posted here, they got in. So this is, by the way, this is crypto Twitter. I know some of you guys are not really big into Twitter. You may not be using it. You may think it's dumb or whatever the case may be. If you want to have lots of success in cryptos and NFTs, I highly recommend you start getting familiarized with Twitter. Twitter is a bunch of garbage when it comes to political discourse and all that. Don't get involved. Just go follow crypto Twitter people and you're going to get some really great stuff here. So, I mean, look at this guy. He had an entry at 44 cents and he exited at 50 cents with a leverage of 10x. That was a 144% move. So who knows how much they actually put in there, right? Who knows how much they were leveraging on that account. But you know, if it was $100, they just made $144 profit. If it was $1,000, they just made $1,440 profit. If it was $10,000, knowing this guy, it was probably a bigger, larger amount. 10,000 would have made $14,000 profit on day trading. So that's the other thing I'm telling you guys about. I get a lot of flack out there in the comments of, you know, it's XRP. Why are you day trading XRP? XRP is going to be $3,500 a coin, and you should never sell your XRP because that's really dangerous. Well, that is true if you only hold crypto, right? If you only hold a buy and sell as day trading, you can also make money doing that, and it's a lot of fun. Obviously, you have to have two different bags. You can have your long-term hodl bag, and you have your day trading bag when you're doing that. So if you want to stay more involved in the charts, you know, even if you're day trading fake money, paper money, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not giving financial advice here. So don't buy or sell or do anything that we talk about on this channel because it's not financial advice, just financial entertainment and education and sharing the news with you guys. But anyway, just wanted to kind of cover that information with you guys today. See if there's anything in here that we could kind of see that's important here. Let's see. And then in here, scrolling down a little bit, you got BitBoy Crypto over here, Ben Armstrong saying, what will it take for William Hinman to go on trial? It's time to seek criminal charges against him. You can't openly take bribes. The SEC Gov is too corrupt to do it since they are all crooks too. WTF, when did our government become the mafia? That's funny he asked that because they've always been the mafia. That's what the Federal Reserve is, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. So anyway, crazy stuff, great news. And let's go ahead. We're going to dig into some more news about XRP too, but let's go jump into the charts first. We're going to look at the XRP charts. We're going to be looking at the Ethereum charts. We're going to look at the Bitcoin charts. We're going to look at the news for crypto as a whole as well. And what I was telling you guys earlier, by the way, as far as yesterday goes, so if you look here on the daily charts and we take a look at the SPX yesterday, so 2 days ago it started a rally, and then just yesterday, because remember on TradingView the new trading day starts just started 2 hours ago on your stocks. And this is after hours trading, obviously, because open hours is different. But as you can see right now, it had a massive crash down today. It did come down and tap off that 1100 moving average again. So yesterday it hit it and ran away. Today it came and tapped it. And now we have a brand new candle that just started. So that is not a good sign, right, for stocks and the markets and all of those types of things. But we're not really worried about that. We're going to be worrying about XRP and what's going on here. Well, as we always talk about, let's clear the whole charts so that way it is free and clear and easy to see. So a couple of things that I want to point out here. So number one, let's go ahead and take our trend here, okay? And we're going to go ahead and do our indicators, and we're going to use our trend indicator, which is going to be the Lux Algo. Those are the premiums. We don't want those right now. We want the trend lines with breaks by Lux Algo. A phenomenal tool that you can use, okay? And that's over on TradingView. It's called Trend Lines with Breaks. It's free. The other thing we're going to use here is our Traders Dynamic Index. We're going to go ahead and pull that up as well. And then we are also going to turn on our moving averages. And the moving averages that I use are exponential. So you go to moving average exponential, turn that on. We need two of them though, because we're going to be using the 50. And we're also going to be using the 1100. So we turn this here to 1100. And then we're also going to turn the 1100 color a turquoise color. All right. So, whoa, delete that. Now, here's what we got. This is the 4-hour charts that we're looking at right now. Price has recently come down below the 50, came up, tested the 1100. The body closed below the 50. Rejected. This is on the 4-hour charts now. And we'll take a look at the daily and the weekly. And then it started making its move up. And then just this current 4-hour candle boosted to the moon. In fact, it all pretty much happened in one candle. And that was this candle here at 1300 on the clock. That'd be 1 p.m. Pacific time we did happen. Exploding up an over 10% run over 2 hours. Now we are having a little bit of a pullback. And then that goes to show you, we'll do another indicator here that we like to use. That is our fair value gap. And as we talk about a lot, if price goes up fast, it also likes to come down fast. The other thing to keep in mind here, what just happened is there was a fair value gap here, a fair value gap here, and a fair value gap here that were downside fair value gaps. Boom, right? Because the price fell down quickly. So all these fair value gaps were left. Well, it just cleared all of that out. Just went and cleared everyone's liquidity, cleared out all the people that had short sales right here, short. People were going short heavy because they did think price was going to be returning down to that 34 cents, which it definitely still can. And we'll show you that in the charts here in just a minute. But all these people had shorts, right? So what do? You go and clear them all out. You go and trigger all of their stop losses, take all of their money, liquidate their accounts, and boom, now they're out of the market. So you can return back to where we started from. So what we're going to do now is look at the 4-hour chart. We're going to look at this on the Heikin-Ashi so we can look at our supply and demand zones. First and foremost, our downside supply and demand zone right now, because of this candle, we have a new piece of data that we did not have before. So this is our newest piece of data here. That is now going to be our short-term support. If price starts to fall and it's making its way down, more than likely it will fall and land and get caught on this little soft landing here at 44 cents. 44 cents is where it could come down, tap off of, okay? Now, there are a couple of points on the way down there that could hit as well. And that would be the 1100 moving average, which is currently 40. And you can see the numbers over here, by the way. The number for the 1100 moving average is 45 cents. And then the 50 moving average is currently sitting at 44 cents. And that's where we're at right now, where more than likely price would come and then that was where it would stop. If for some reason price wants to finish the move that we've been talking about, well, there is a couple of continued drop zones here as well. So we'll go ahead and mark those off. Drop zone here, that is that 40-cent level. And then the next drop zone is here, which is at 35-cent level. So we do have all those. And then, it's still possible. I just don't see it happening because I think that the market's going to start rallying. I think that with the SPY hitting, like the S&P 500 hitting these levels, this super low level on the daily, hitting that, we could see some sort of rally here. We're going to find out tomorrow. Tomorrow is also the last day of the week for stocks, and we'll see where that gets to. Could it just continue down and bottoming out? You also have the NASDAQ, same scenario. It actually broke below there on the NASDAQ. So you can see last time it actually saved it here and then rallied back. Right now, we have new lower lows. Okay, so we had lows in June. We have now broken these lows in the stock market. And the only reason why I'm covering this, and you guys got to understand this, is that the stock market is correlated with the crypto market. Because if we take a look at Bitcoin, obviously it did not have as big. So these are June lows right here, June lows. It didn't have as big of or amazing recovery, but there's a potential that Bitcoin also comes and clears out the June lows. So we got to keep an eye on that. The one thing that I will say, though, we have a bullish divergence that happened here on the daily and another bullish divergence that happened here, and it didn't really pump. So there is potential that this thing pumps to the upside and it makes it swing to the daily Bitcoin 1100 moving average, which is sitting up here at 28,000. So there's some, like, we could see a move similar to what we saw here with XRP. So we had this move, a retest, this move. But now, is this move a fake out, or was this move a real continuation of the original move? We're going to find out. What we did talk about the other day for XRP is there's a potential of a bearish divergence forming if we're going to have some sort of correction in price. And what that would look like is price does move up and it makes a new higher high. So this was the high before. Let's say that it wicks above there, then starts a correction, because what we're seeing right now is price on, or not price, but the RSI numbers, which was here, 74, right? Well, it's starting to drop. So we would have a new higher, or a new lower high on the RSI here, but we'd have a new higher high on the price on the daily charts, giving us the epic bullish divergence, or sorry, bearish divergence. Because look what happened when we had a bullish divergence on XRP. Took a little bit of time. Okay, so it happened here. It made a move, but price didn't hardly do anything. Price literally barely did anything at all, right? Came down, retested that zone, then boom, that moonshot run, which was really exciting to be a part of. So when we take a look at XRP and then we look at Bitcoin, kind of similar here, right? So a bullish divergence, price ran up, came down, tested that little zone here yesterday, yesterday's candle. Now we have today's brand new candle that just started, or actually with cryptos, this was yesterday's candle. This is today's candle. The new daily day candle will start in 1 hour and 16 minutes. So that's the other thing you need to remember when you're looking at stocks versus cryptos. Cryptos are open 24/7 and their clocks work differently as well. So, and for most of you guys know that, and you're probably like, why are you telling me this? But not everybody in the community is a crypto expert. So I wanted to let you guys know that. So as we make a move here to the upside, we have the bullish divergence. We haven't had the explosion. So there's potential that Bitcoin does that. And then we also take a look over here at Ethereum. Where's my ETH? Up here. So ETH had a bottom, right? Now it's coming back. Could be testing it, taking off. So we're going to see what happens over these next couple of hours, because we will know what we do know is that price is stuck in this little range. And when price gets stuck in a little range and starts to build pressure, we've seen explosions upside, downside. We don't know which way it's going to go yet, but we'll keep on watching the charts to find out for sure. Okay, so back to XRP, back to Heikin-Ashi candles. The other thing that I want to point out to us here is on the daily charts, this is our last green candle before this little down move here. So this would be our upside support. Now, we're already in that level because it just ran up there and basically ripped right through there, right? So it's invalid now because it's too big. So we need to narrow down our focus on this. We need to narrow it down to maybe the 4-hour charts. So let's take this and delete it, our box here. And our 4-hour chart would give us this one here. And it did go in and wick that one pretty good. You can see where, look at this box too. It held as a support before it finally dropped, and then the roller coaster drop. Now, boost to the upside. And we're getting some really, really good boost to the upside. And as we look down here at the RSI, we have lots of room to the upside. Look at all this. We haven't even gotten to the 70 level yet. So there's tons of room to the upside. We are having a little bit of a pullback, like we keep on saying and showing and all of that. But regardless, there's momentum here. There's room to run. It's above the 50 on the RSI. That's bullish. Let's take a look at the hourly. How deep is it coming back? We are getting potential shark fin here on the hourly. The daily, okay, so the daily made the shark fin, had the pullback, but now it's recovering as well. And then we did talk about this yesterday. We take our Fibonacci and we see where price ran from our most recent swing low. Actually, that one wasn't it. There was more here. All right, so from our most recent swing low, where it came back and tapped, right now it's 618. Now it's making a move to the upside. So there's good, we have already talked about it in this video, where the RSI could make a new higher low or a lower high, but the price does make a new higher high. And let me show you why. We look at the weekly chart. Look at this. This is freaking amazing right here. So for all of you XRP Army that's like super pumped and really ready for this thing, the moonshot, there's a lot of potential right now. As we can see, the volatility bands, they're starting to widen out, right? So they were kind of tight here, widening out. The yellow line, our market baseline, starting to slope up. RSI ran hard up, like whoosh, that's a big spike up. Really, really exciting there. It's not even up to the 70, which the 70 would get us to the overbought territory. That's where we could see some sort of thing like this, where we do start to return or have a little bit of a pullback. But right now, there's some really good signs of where price could be going to the upside. And then, of course, indicators on the weekly fair value gap here. Fair value gap is a toss-up. And what I mean by that is we have this fair value gap to the upside here, which needs to be filled at 67 cents. Our weekly downside fair value gap, it came down deep into it. I'm talking really deep, because remember, this fair value gap was all the way up here and it filled all of that with that wick, but it left this little tiny, that little tiny piece there. Not sure why it got down there. Obviously, the news helped propel the explosion to the upside this week. But, you know, I kind of wish it would have just filled that gap, because it would have given me so much more confidence that we're just moving to the upside. And then also when we take a look here on the weekly, more larger time frames, for those of you swing trader buy holders, this is our weekly supply and demand zone now. This would act as a support, 35 cents. But here's what's really exciting, where price could be going. And it has the room to move on the RSI all the way up to here, getting us back to that 77-cent level. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to be a rocket ship, boom, boom, 2 candles and we're there. Although it could happen over the next 2 weeks. You never know. We could see a ride up, then a little pullback, then a ride up. So that's why you need to subscribe to the channel, because we're going to be following this information for you every day on the channel. So XRP weekly looking bullish. XRP daily has a lot of bearish move left in it. So it does have some pullback in it. We might have this short-term relief rally to the upside. We may even create a new high. Looking at the 4-hour charts, 4-hour charts are ready to freaking rumble, right? The 4-hour charts are ready to rock and roll to the upside. There's no doubt about that. There's lots of room. It's looking good. I mean, the only thing is price exploded to the upside. The candle has not closed. There's still 1 hour, 10 minutes left. There will be a fair value gap. And the reason there's going to be a fair value gap is because this candle right here, the one prior to the explosion, the wick only goes to right here. And whatever happens here is going to leave all of this, right? So there is going to be fair value to the downside. We drop to the 1 hour charts. We're looking here at the 1 hour. There's this fair value that it's on its way. It's hunting that down right now, it looks like. So very likely could be just coming to fill that. Maybe the 1 hour comes running down, taps off of the 50 moving average here at 44 cents. And then it does go up and make that new high. We'll follow that. 15-minute chart. 15-minute chart. Look at that. That was a really exciting trade to be in, because you're just pumping up to the upside the whole time. That was a really gnarly, fun thing to watch. I was actually watching it happen. I was not in that trade actually, but I just missed it, unfortunately. I was watching for it, but I didn't get in it. Congratulations to you that are day traders that did hit that trade. That was a good one. Very, very nice run there. But we do have some pullback left in there. I am personally I'm not trying to trade this right now. It was too volatile. Now that I missed the big move, I'm just sitting on my hands and waiting on it to finish out. All right, jumping over here now to Ethereum. We have some interesting stuff going on here. So we're on the weekly chart for Ethereum. Last week, it hit right off the same point as the rejection point. This week, we do have 3 days, 2 hours left. It ran up to that spot, that 1404, and rejected off of it. Then came flying down, and now it is just kind of sitting there trading sideways. Very similar to Bitcoin's doing. RSI also doing the same thing. Under the 50 RSI, so showing more bearish power support. And we are also looking at the volatility bands have started to narrow down, and we're just chilling below it. There's no signs or anything like that showing that we could see an extreme break to either side. When we turn on the fair value gaps here on the weekly charts, there is a nice little fair value gap it can go snag real quick to the upside, but there's a deep, deep pullback sitting down here waiting for that to happen. The other thing is we do have some really exciting potential upside momentum, because you can look here. Also the 50 moving average here, 2100. All of these gaps still need to be filled. RSI though, looking weak, not showing any signs of anything. Daily is giving us a little bit of a potential move to the upside here, with the RSI starting to creep up and price trading sideways. So this is usually a very bullish sign, where RSI starting to climb up, price trades sideways, compresses that spring, and then eventually, boom. So whether a price does a quick little dip down, grabs everyone's liquidity, drops everyone's stop loss right down here under this previous low, and then makes the move up as RSI keeps climbing. So that's what I'm looking for on that. The opposite is true as well, where price could just start to fall out and come down to this level here at 1100. But if it goes up, we're looking at resistance of 1693 for Ethereum. So very, very exciting. In fact, let me take a look here on my day trading algorithm. Okay, so on Ethereum, my weekly day trading outlook shows a mixed signal. More bullish, actually, more bullish than bearish. On the daily, it's very bearish. There's lots of red on that. However, price could be returning up to like the 50 moving average area on the daily chart, that 1500 level that we just talked about. So, and then what it would do is it would come up, come above there a little bit, and then finish its move down. So that is what that indicator's showing on that. The 4-hour charts, bearish as can be. In fact, the 4-hour charts are showing we might start to drop now. Yeah, it's possible. Let's look at this 4-hour. The 4-hour charts that I have right now is showing we could be dropping, and also the trend lines with breaks is showing a potential downside here. We might see a little move above the 50 and then the actual downside move. That's what I would be looking for on Ethereum. Again, not financial advice, just what the charts are showing me. And then let's look at XRP. So we go back to XRP real quick on this system. I just bought a new system and it's actually been really good. So this one here is showing on the weekly for XRP. It is starting to switch bullish. So long-term is looking strong. Same thing with the daily. It's starting to show bullish as well. The 4-hour is bullish. And this was that signal I was telling you, it was there. I was not around my computer to get into that. The 1-hour is bearish. The 1-hour is showing this is like a premature pump. So we might come back down and then come down and tap this before the next explosion to the upside, that 38 cents level. Looking at Bitcoin, Bitcoin's weekly. Let's see here. Bitcoin weekly. Boom. All right, here we go. Bitcoin weekly is mixed. So there is a little bit of signals that it's going to be continuing to the upside from where it's at. And that's kind of like what we were talking about, because the RSI does have potential of making that move. And then if we switch to daily here, let's look at daily charts. Daily showing bearish. There's going to be a rally. It's going to come above the 50, probably run into this zone here, the 21,000, and then a really hardcore down move. 4 hour bearish as well, has to drop below the 50. If it drops below the 50 moving average and then starts making its move down, we could see a return to the previous lows. And then it does not have Shiba Inu, so we're not going to cover that one. But let's go look at the news. All right, over here at Crypto Panic, my favorite news aggregator, judge orders SEC to turn over Hinman documents over Ripple Labs after months of dispute. And this right here is under the trending tab. Let's go take a look. I know we covered this a little bit. Let's see if there's anything extra that we missed here. Judge Torres's decision overruled SEC objections by releasing the documents following District Judge Sarah Netburn's order declaring that the emails and drafts of the speech were not protected by a deliberative process privilege, as the SEC has claimed. The SEC claimed that the attorney-client privilege over the documents, which was overruled by Netburn in July. Judge Torres's ruling overruled the SEC's objections to the decision. John Deaton, by the way, probably one of the best guys to follow at all on Ripple, because this guy, he always helps me with some really great insight. And this is why the crypto market should be thankful Ripple is fighting this case. If you add up the legal fees Ripple has paid to finally get a ruling from Judge Torres, it is likely $2 to $3 million, and they still don't have the documents. Next step, SEC asked to certify or mandamus. Jeremy Hogan, also a great follow on YouTube for Ripple information. Judge Torres agrees with Judge Netburn on every single issue related to the Hinman emails. Relevance, check. Attorney-client privilege, check. DPP, check. Some days I'm proud of this profession. The case was initially seen as going badly for Ripple, and the company has pursued a variety of strategies to defend itself. Ripple Labs and the SEC filed motions on September 17th for a summary judgment in the U.S. District Court of the Southern New York. Also trending right now, Facebook and Instagram will enable NFTs for all U.S. customers. Ethereum's merge triggers confusion over tax status in the UK. Here's how. Judge denies another SEC attempt to shield documents. Music NFTs, are they the next big thing? And if you guys remember months ago, I purchased Gala Music Node, and you were allowed to buy a Gala Music Node for like $1,200 months ago, and they finally went active. So now, if you're familiar with Spotify, or if you're familiar with Pandora, now there will be Gala Music, where you're going to be listening and streaming music. You can buy an album and then host it on Gala Music. And if people listen to your stream that you bought, you get paid from Gala Music. So it's going to be decentralized pay, because obviously all the money that Pandora makes goes to Pandora. All the money that Spotify makes goes to Spotify. How do you think they were able to pay, I think, $100 million to Joe Rogan, right? Because they make a junk ton of money. Now I'm going to start collecting some of that, and you can too. So look into that, by the way, Gala Music. XRP price eyes ultimate explosion to new all-time highs if Ripple takes major win. Facebook and Instagram will allow users to connect their crypto wallets.